Welcome back, Bayo. There is a creator called Mythofpsyche, and she has presented us with a conundrum, which is the fact that you as somebody who accepts their flaws and their mental health issues, you do want to do something about them. You do want to make your life better. You do want to help your own mental health overall, in general as well. If you feel like you're struggling with something, you do want clarity. If you feel like you want to do better, if you just want to do better in your life, you want to go to somebody and talk to them and figure your life out, right? So for that we have therapists, for that we have counselors. But what happens when your counselor uses those same old boring techniques which we as a general population do not agree with, or do not accept, or do not even want to accept, right? Something that we may not be capable of doing at that moment. So this is something which is very serious because I'm tired of the Indian psychology community, the Indian psychology practices to be so backward and so dumb. It's एंड में बात करते हैं इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में. पहले देखते हैं what she actually has faced and like what her experience is.
Therapist used to force me to be grateful. This was 2 years ago in Bangalore when I was in my first year of college. So she would say that I am not a grateful person. I do not appreciate the small things in life. And that completely broke my heart. Though now I'm fine. I'm doing so much better. I have achieved so many milestones in life. I have healed myself literally from scratch without the help of any therapist because I was completely traumatized by this experience. So, 2 years ago, I was not in a good condition mentally and physically. The reason I was not feeling grateful in life because I really didn't have anything to be grateful. I cannot pretend that I am grateful for the roof over my head or I'm grateful for the food in my fridge because I was not. Why would I be grateful for being here when I really don't feel like it? So I was always really authentic. I was always really honest. But my therapist didn't make space for my authenticity. Honestly, I would say it still kind of bothers me that someone who had so much power kind of emotionally abused me because we kind of trust doctors, therapists, people who have power blindly. 2 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be here alive. I am grateful now. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be talking to you. So, if you have ever experienced something like this, I just want to say that your feelings are valid. If you're not able to be grateful, doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It's just not your time yet. My therapist used to force.
Right. So, first of all, I'm going to say this very clearly, and uh, it may feel like I have venom inside, but I don't. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of the entire psychology circle being so damn uh, oga boga in their approach, right? We have learned all about Freud, we have learned all about other psychologists who have done things in their own age, in their own time, in their own countries, which is not this country, right? And the basic guidelines that we have are to just talk about people in general terms. And if there are great psychologists, there are great therapists, I'm not going to take that away from them, but I'm talking about the skills that are required to deal with people of this country. And second, the tools that we say that we have, which we want to provide to people, but those tools are so damn rudimentary, I would say is the word, which is just basic stone level things. We have not moved on from the stone age of psychology, right? In this country at the very least. I'm so passionate about this because I had to leave my practice for a very good reason, but it was also because the guidelines that I had were to just ask people to journal their thoughts, were to just ask people to be grateful for what they have, for just I had these are guidelines that you get in general, right? There are great things that we do learn which are just confidentiality, which are being loyal to the thought of your client, right? So your work as a client is to not judge them, is to be loyal to them, right? To be a friend in need at the very least, right? It's that. And also it's the fact that you do not judge or label. Label is the right word. You do not label your client into something, right? These are the things that we learn as psychologists in the first year of our practice, when we do our practice or internships with under somebody. So that's great, right? So you learn these things which are great to help your client, but there are also stuff which lets us but which holds us back from using our own brains as therapists, and replacing them with tools, right, which we are supposed to use to guide our clients. Fine. अब इन चीज़ों में प्रॉब्लम यहाँ पे आ जाती है कि जो जिस प्रेसिडेंट से हमने स्टार्ट करा था ये चीज़ करना, द रीज़न वाई वी अप्रोच्ड साइकोलॉजी एज अ करियर वॉज टू हेल्प पीपल, एंड आई बिलीव एवरी सिंगल साइकोलॉजिस्ट agrees with me when I say that our initial thought was to start our practice, or to become a psychologist, or to become a therapist, or to become a counselor, just to help people, right? We wanted to solve people, we wanted to solve people's problems, we wanted to be there for them, we wanted to be a guide, we wanted to be a counselor, we wanted to be somebody who they can rely on, right? We were supposed to be the ones who were supposed to have our empathy intact at the end of the day. But when somebody like this faces something and they go to their therapist, and their therapist says कि भाई तुम grateful हो जाओ, that sounds very childish. तुम journal कर लो, that sounds very childish. So these tools do not actually help people at the end of the day, right? I understand that it's not our job as therapists to tell somebody to do something about their life. We are there to help people introspect their problems and come up with a solution by themselves. But in that process, we have forgotten the basics. We've forgotten that the tools that we have do not apply on every single person. As she mentioned, she did not want to be here, and that, I would say, roots from depressive thought, that roots from anxiety, general anxiety, that roots from stress and overthinking and worries of life. There are multiple factors. तो हर क्लाइंट के साथ तुम वही सेम टूल्स अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते, which is shameful, because we need to reinvent the wheels for ourselves, for our culture, for our society, for our country. We can't rely on Freud, right? We cannot rely on what the historians had said once in a while, once upon a time, where also in a different country where the culture is 100% different. If somebody is suffering in my country and is standing right in front of me, it's not my job to tell them to do childish practices. It's my job to help them, to guide them through life. A better solution at that point would have been to just go one day at a time, and anytime you feel these thoughts, instead of bottling them, doing something with it. If you feel like you can distract yourself at that moment with something that is of interest to you, of something that helps you, of something that you want to do, which is a hobby, which is something that you like to do, or I would say content creation for somebody like her, if that helps you, and if you think that that will make you relaxed and will keep those thoughts at bay when you're not in the session, when you're not with me, when these thoughts come, to just accept, first of all, that you have these thoughts, and these are natural, these are thoughts that can happen, these are uh, ideas and expressions that come up to you at any time, that at any phase of life, in fact, and it's valid, right? First of all, acceptance. Secondly, instead of leaning into that, the negatives, think of the things that you can do at that moment which will help you instead. That can be enjoying food, watching something, doing a particular type of work, content creation, or something that is a hobby to you. Instead of just being grateful that you're alive. Because I also understand, if I'm in that situation and my therapist says कि भाई एक काम कर, you are willing to end yourself, but do one thing, realize that at the very least you have a life, right? So be grateful for your life. It's the entire Africans do not have anything to eat kind of statement. It does not matter at that moment. My context is different. Me, me as a person, I'm different. If I am unable to digest my food, and that food will give me hunger. I cannot gulp it down thinking of the fact that at least there are people who cannot get meals at the end of the day. I cannot have that grateful thought at that point, thinking about something else or diverting my insecurities, fears, anxieties into grateful thoughts, right? At that moment. So that is very childish. That's my entire point. I'm tired of living in a society where my first of all career, my community is represented by these childish activities and these basic basic tools which we uh, just gain after interning under somebody or getting our degree and then feeling like we know everything. This stream is not for money. Being a therapist is not for money, it's to help people. I understand that you cannot solve people's problems, but at least empathize with them. At least place yourself in their shoes and understand that if they are saying something, they may not be willing to take your tools. They may require a different approach, right? So this is not supposed to be something that you can just mechanically get put your fill your inputs into and get a result, get an output, and that task is to just being grateful or journaling your thoughts. That cannot be our practice, right? So just because you have a degree does not mean that you have the right to play around with people's thoughts, emotions, and money and effort and time like this. This is a very bad experience, and this is something that we need to rectify for our own country. Yes, we do delve in our pasts a lot in this country as a therapist. Yes, we do go back to our childhoods, and yes, we uh, prefer our clients to keep on sulking instead of trying to figure out a way to get out of a situation and to work towards something that will actually help our client or focus on their goals and their ambitions and their dreams and what they want to become. Instead, we focus on what had happened and how they are uh, with us right now, and they can just sulk for an hour, and that's great because we get the money for them to be sulking with us. That was not supposed to be how therapy works. At the very least in this country, we need to focus on our clients first of all, and their growth and their betterment, and how we can help them get out of a situation into something and propel them into something that is great for them. That's what we are supposed to do, right? So yeah, I was just extremely frustrated and angry with the fact that this is still going on. This practice is still going on, which is very stone agey. We need to move on from the old techniques. We need to better ourselves as psychologists. We need to sharpen our skills, and we need to focus on our clients as if we are living their lives and give them the solutions that they require instead of just sitting and listening to them sulk for an hour and getting the money. This is not about money. This career is not about money. That's all I had to say. मिलते अगले वीडियो में. If you are going to therapy, let me know what your experiences are and how you may be going to a good therapist, or like what their techniques are which are actually helping you. If you are going to therapy and you have some horrible experiences like this, let me know that as well. Apart from this, basic कुछ चीज़ें कुछ कुछ वीडियोस में members only में डालने वाला हूँ. तो if you want to subscribe to the membership, go for it. Like, hype, comment वगैरह वगैरह वो सब तुम्हारी मर्जी है. Memberships on हो चुके हैं, तो I'll start posting more there. Not more, like some videos once in a while there as well. कुछ लाइव स्ट्रीम्स भी करेंगे members only में. शॉर्ट्स भी आ सकते हैं और वीडियोस भी आ सकते हैं. That's all I had to say. मिलते हैं अगले वीडियो में. Stay safe. Bye.